In my years roaming this earth, watching people and their ways, I've learned something profound. Intelligence isn't just about what you know. It's about how you live, treat others, and learn from your errors. But here's the catch. There are six unmistakable signs, yes, six, that reveal when someone lacks, shall we say, wisdom. Before you smirk or roll your eyes at this list, let me explain why it matters. Spotting these signs isn't about judging others. It's about reflection, growth, and steering clear of these traps in our own lives. It's also about aiding those unaware they're caught in their own foolish cycles. So, join me on this journey of discovery. We'll uncover the six undeniable signs of a foolish person, each offering a lesson, a story, and a mirror for self-reflection. Because the road to wisdom always starts with awareness. Ready to tread this path with me? Let's begin. Sign 1. A closed mind. A closed mind is ignorance's fortress, built brick by brick, with pride, fear, and stubbornness. Such people don't just reject new ideas. They block their own growth. They dwell in a rigid boxes where everything must follow their familiar rules, and anything different feels like a threat. Their confidence is often a mask, for true confidence stems from knowing you can't know it all. Take Mark, for instance, a department manager at a company I once knew. Mark was adamant that old methods were best, despite clear evidence his team lagged behind competitors. When a younger colleague proposed modern project management software to boost efficiency, Mark brushed it off, saying, "We've done it this way for a decade, and it's fine." Meanwhile, other teams advanced, but Mark's struggled with outdated processes and slipping performance. Instead of facing the issue, Mark blamed his staff, the market, even luck, never his own rigid mindset. A closed mind doesn't just halt new knowledge, it stunts everyone around it. Wise people, however, aren't afraid to admit they don't know everything, and stay open to learning. Stoic philosophy teaches that wisdom isn't about always being right, but about adapting and improving. If you see this trait in yourself or a colleague, remember, embracing innovation fosters personal growth and builds a better work environment. Be bold enough to say, "I was wrong, and I want to learn." Only when stubbornness walls fall can true wisdom take root. Sign 2. Constant blaming. Foolish individuals excel at crafting excuses. Nothing is ever their fault. A project fails. The market was too harsh. A promotion slips away. The boss played favorites. Deep down, we know blaming is a shield, a way to dodge the truth. Yet that shield becomes a cage, trapping them from real growth. Consider Lisa, an event organizer I once worked with, tasked with planning a major conference. When the event flopped due to low attendance, Lisa quickly pointed fingers at the marketing team for poor promotion. But the truth emerged. Lisa had delayed sending event details, derailing the entire marketing campaign. Even then, she kept blaming others, refusing to own her role in the failure. The outcome? Her colleagues lost trust, and Lisa eventually stepped down. Responsibility, though heavy, opens the door to growth. Wise people embrace their mistakes, not because they love criticism, but because they see truth as a chance to improve. Stoic philosophy teaches that mastering life begins with mastering accountability. If you catch yourself slipping into a blaming pattern, pause and reflect. Have I done all I could? Is there something I might have done differently? Blaming changes nothing, but taking responsibility transforms you. Wise individuals don't shy away from errors. They learn, grow, and press forward. You can too. Choose truth, improvement, and greatness over excuses. Sign 3. Arrogance over humility. Have you ever met someone who's always trying to prove they're the smartest in the room? That's the third sign of a foolish person: arrogance. Arrogance isn't merely a veil for insecurity. It's the greatest obstacle to wisdom and growth. Truly intelligent people listen more than they speak. Knowing learning is a lifelong pursuit. Take Michael, for instance, a manager at a large corporation. In every meeting, he'd dominate discussions, cut off colleagues, and even ridicule their ideas. When a project failed, Michael blamed his team for failing to grasp his brilliant plans. But in truth, his arrogance and refusal to listen derailed the effort. When his boss urged him to reflect, Michael couldn't offer a single valid reason, blinded by his own hubris. Humility, on the other hand, isn't about belittling yourself. It's about focusing less on yourself. It values learning and collaboration over proving you're right. Stoic philosophy teaches that wisdom flows from opening to new perspectives, from daring to admit, "I was wrong," and being eager to grow. If you find yourself caught in arrogance's trap, pause and ask, am I chasing recognition, or do I truly seek growth? Wisdom doesn't come from making others feel small. It comes from lifting them up. The truly wise let humility guide them, understanding that real intelligence shines when arrogance's noise fades. You can choose to be that wise person. Sign 4. Lack of empathy. A clear marker of ignorance is the absence of empathy. The inability to step into another's shoes, feel their emotions, or understand their struggles. Without empathy, people live in isolation, cut off from deep relationships, often hurting others without even noticing. This absence not only damages connections, but also shallows one's character. Take Paul, a colleague I once knew, who constantly griped about project delays without ever seeking the reasons behind them. Once, when a coworker, Susan, missed a deadline because her son was gravely ill, Paul publicly shamed her before the team, caring only about results, not her circumstances. A year later, when Paul faced a similar situation, caring for his ailing mother, he finally grasped how his thoughtless critiques wounded others. Lack of empathy doesn't just make someone seem cold. It blinds them to chances for growth through relationships. Stoic philosophy teaches that true wisdom springs not from knowing all, but from connecting deeply with others. Those lacking empathy not only impoverish their spiritual lives, but also isolate themselves, leaving a legacy of insensitivity. Empathy isn't weakness. It's the bridge to wisdom and humanity. When you pause to truly hear someone, you not only aid them, but also gain priceless lessons. An empathetic heart enriches your world, helping you navigate life's complexities with grace and insight. If you find yourself short on empathy, start by listening without judgment. It's the first step to opening your heart and mind, guiding you toward true wisdom. Sign 5. The fear of change. The comfort zone feels warm, but it's also a cage. Those who dread change cling to old habits, even when they're outdated, like children scared of the dark, reluctant to step beyond the familiar. Yet, my friends, life is a river, flowing, bending, ever transforming. The wise adapt and thrive, while the foolish grasp at water, watching it slip through their fingers. Take Michael, a man who lived his entire life in a small neighborhood, knowing every face, every corner. When his grown children urged him to move to a new area for better prospects, Michael resisted, saying, "I know everyone here. Why go elsewhere?" But the neighborhood changed. Friends left. Shops closed. Michael saw that despite his resistance, the world moved on. Eventually, he relocated near his children, only then discovering that the new place brought not just comfort, but opportunities he'd never imagined. The fear of change doesn't just keep you safe, it blocks greater possibilities. Stoic philosophy teaches that change is inevitable, and only by embracing it with an open heart can we live fully. If you find yourself shying from change, ask, what's the worst that could happen? And what's the best? Life doesn't pause, and if you don't flow with it, you'll stay stuck in fear. Change is a step toward growth. Resisting it only keeps you stagnant. Sign 6. Talking more than listening. Ever noticed a family member who claims to know it all? They dominate every conversation, interrupt constantly, and rarely pause to hear others. A clear hallmark of foolishness. These individuals love their own voice, often ignoring others' perspectives, which creates tension and harms relationships. Consider John, a father I once knew. At family dinners, John monopolized talks, cutting off his kids as they tried to share school experiences, eager to recount his own tales. When his wife suggested financial changes, John dismissed her outright, insisting his way was best. The tragedy? John didn't see how his behavior made his family feel unheard and unvalued, creating a rift of disconnection. Listening isn't passive. It's an active skill, demanding genuine attention and respect. Stoic philosophy teaches that listening paves the way to learning and growth. In silence, we uncover deep understanding. Talking without listening is like scattering seeds on barren soil. Nothing grows. If you see yourself in John's story, change now. When your child shares their day or your spouse offers thoughts, pause and truly hear them. Don't just wait to speak, seek to understand. This not only strengthens family bonds, but fosters an environment of love and respect. The wise listen, the foolish only talk. We've explored the 6 signs of a foolish person, but before you click away wondering, am I foolish? Pause. Truth is, we've all shown these traits at times. Arrogance, clinging to comfort, or talking too much without truly hearing. The key takeaway? Recognizing these signs isn't about judgment, it's about growth. Stoic philosophy teaches that wisdom comes not from always being right, but from learning, owning mistakes, and striving to improve. Each foolish trait is a chance to grow wiser. If these signs resonate, take it as a call to evolve. Step beyond your comfort zone, listen more, blame less, embrace change. This journey isn't for the flawless. It's for the brave who can say, I can do better. Remember, foolishness is fleeting, but wisdom, this is a lifelong path, and you're not alone. Keep growing. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue uncovering meaningful lessons together. Thank you for watching.